Y'all, check out my curls. Y'all, I ain't gonna get frustrated. I promise I'm not gonna get frustrated. I really just got up. It is 4:05. It's trying to find my face. It is 4:05. I mean, I've been up, but like, it's been raining. It's just, you know, I know I have stuff to do. Like, I'm contemplating with God, and y'all thought y'all was not going to get a video. It's been 2 weeks, and I just been letting the other videos marinate and stuff like that. And the update video kind of the update video was just random because I'm just like, okay, here's a wrench in my, the things that, I have planned. Here's a wrench in, what I think is going to happen. And now I have this to think about. And I was telling y'all how I've been congratulating everybody else for their different successes and stuff like that and what they have going on. But I haven't really been thinking about like myself. Like, I haven't really been thinking about myself. I haven't really been thinking about, you know, what if God, brings this promise? Like, what would I do? And excuse my eyes, like I just got out the shower washing my hair. But it's like, what would I do? And, where would God guide me? And, how do I decide I'm washing to? So, how would I decide, you know, what is the best decision for me? And, where do I need to be going? Or, if God has already placed people in situations to in situations in place before me, like he goes ahead of you. So like, it's like, what if I don't make this decision and it's the best decision? It's the best decision for me. What if I don't make this decision and I miss this mark? And I told y'all, like, I prayed that I don't miss my mark with my husband and stuff like that. But then I was like, you know what? I was like, I can't miss that mark with my husband. But in a certain way, if I get weary, if I get, so, down or so in my feelings, like, you know, the devil could send somebody. Like, it's so funny because I randomly, like, this morning, like I told y'all, like, I'm just getting myself together, but this morning, I randomly got like a Facebook request from someone who I used to deal with, and it's just like, I'm like, who is this? Because like, it was from a weird name, and it's so funny because my sister-in-law, I was telling her happy birthday, but she finally, you know I do not want to create a pen. I have to create a pen. No. You have to create a pin to access your chat history for Facebook now. More options. Can I? Yes, remind me later because it's dumb. It's dumb. The trash people haven't came. The Is y'all hear the man just drove by? It's flooded. Someone's trash is in my yard presently, and I don't use black bags. And if I did use a black bag, it'd be full. So I don't know who trash that is, but they need to come get the trash. So now, because it's in my yard, I have to go put gloves on and pick up your trash and put it in my trash can so they can get it. Annoying. And it just rained really big, so I gotta finish my hair, go out here, put some gloves on, get your trash because I don't know what they got in it and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to get sick or touch nothing that I don't supposed to be touching. That's the school bus. And put it in my trash. And it better not be my neighbor over here because I feel like he's just like those girls that they put over there, and they they on some racist stuff. Like I at first, I talked about it on Instagram, and I was like, how you going to not even sit there and ask me or question me, but you going to believe them? So I believe they was on some racist stuff with that situation. But anyways, so I randomly got a Facebook request. Let me see if I can find it, y'all. I ain't gonna even tell the name, so I don't know why I'm looking for it. Request. But my sister-in-law requested me like 6 days ago. She probably like, this helpful. Like she like I sent her a friend request. It's just like, girl, you got too many pages. Like I don't even be on Facebook. And then she tried to add me now. But the Facebook, the name on the Facebook thing was just random. And I'm like, who the heck is this? And then like I clicked on it and it showed the name and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, why? Like, it's different when someone is like already your friend and stuff like that and they are exes, whatever. But the fact that you are coming back at, like, and it's just like, I got so many friend requests. Like, I have, let me see. Because these are people I know, but then it's just like if you didn't keep the same Facebook, you know, how many do I got? I got some from like 4 years ago. But that just happened this morning. Look, my cousin sent me like I just leave it there. And that's why I was telling y'all, like, I was like, it'll be funny if someone is trying to like sit there and try to be like, oh, well, you're trying to talk to this person or this person and stuff like that and all of this. And it's just like, you would never get like, I would never message you back. I would never, like click into your message. Like, I don't know you, but even with people I know, like, I don't take their message requests. We got this little bougie oil, y'all, that I'm about to put on my hair. It works good, but like, look at the ounces, and it costs like $7. Hold on, it's like 100 milliliters, 3.3 ounces, and it's $7. It works good, but like, look at my hair. Look how thick my hair is. I wish I can keep my curls, but I was like, Lord, I'll let you decide on, you know, what you would want for me to do my hair, like how you want for me to do my hair. So I'm gonna blow it out and stuff like that. But my curls look good. Like, husband, check that. Look at that bounce. Like, I marinated it. I marinated it last night, and yeah. Like, I do get a good curl, but I just, like, at work and where I work at that place, like, I just don't let my curls, like, even this, like, and it's just because, like, I'm a person to where it's just like, I wouldn't want people to have their hair around my food, or, vice versa and stuff like that. So I actually put my hair up, like, and most of the time, if y'all see it blowed out, like, y'all see me pull it, like, at least back like this. So, like, it's not in my face or anything, and it's not, around anybody's food. But yeah, so I really only need a little of this. It's 414. But yeah, so the trash situation is irritating me. I already seen, like, I heard it raining, and I was like, bruh, it's raining. I just wasted oil on my pants. Look how it. See, that's why I said I only need a little bit. And I'm really not in the space to where I was gonna do my hair, like the place. Look how it just sits up on my hair though. Where'd my rubber band go? Did I pop it? No. But it smells good. Like, I use different oils and stuff like that. Like, it was so funny because like I have one that I really love that smells like a baby oil, and she legit, like, one of my coworkers was legit like, dang, like in front of the manager, she was like, dang, she was like, I like baby oil, but that's too much. And it's just like, and it's like, I looked at my manager, she looked at me, she didn't say nothing, and I was just like, bro, like, I can't believe this. It's just, you get to a place to where it's just like, I can't believe, like, you just sat there and let her, and she still, and it's so funny because, like, a week or two ago, it was a Saturday, and I normally come in on Saturdays because I never really see these people to where, like, and she was like, hey, and I'm looking like, we're not cool. Like, I don't, and that's why I be posting on Instagram like I do. I'm like, we're like we're not cool. Like, why are you talking to me? Like, why are you even saying anything? So it's just like, we're not cool at all. So why are you in my face? This one smells like, it's like a fruity scent. Oh, the dryer. I was finna say the washer stopped. It had not. I'm soaking that stuff, so it's gone. It stops, soaks, and then it starts back. But it's gonna be like that for an hour. But I don't think I'm gonna be talking for an hour, and I'm gonna pause y'all as I blow dry. But yeah, it's so much that's happening. But I'm trusting God. Like, God hasn't fully gave me a clear like, he has given me instructions and he has told me what to do, but he hasn't given me like a timeline of like what I should be doing and all of that. And I'm just trusting him. Like, I'm trusting God in, what he wants for me and stuff like that. So I'm trusting him in every. There's been so much going on, and like I told y'all, I keep a straight face through the chaos, through just like everything going on. And Wednesday I had a dream that was wearing me out, and I guess, I don't know if it was for my husband or it was for somebody else, but it was about just knowing what God told you and standing on business about what God told you. And it was kind of like, man, y'all, when I say the dream was weird because it was just like, I still dreaming about schools, which I shouldn't be dreaming about schools, but this was like college, like a weird college dorm, like one of those schools to where it's like a private, like prep or whatever, but it's like everybody had their own little bed and stuff like that, but it was kind of like you didn't really have a lot of privacy, so it was kind of like y'all all like a boarding school, but like y'all all like in, like, you had your own little space and your bed and all of that, but it wasn't like like a whole lot of privacy and stuff like that. But like, we was graduated, we was getting up out of there, and it was me and my friend, and I don't want to say his name because I keep saying me and my husband has this, like, he has a friend that's named this person, and I have this friend that's named this person. Like, grew up to, like, I guess you could say we grew up together, different school districts and stuff like that. But like, he is from my church and stuff like that. And I told y'all I don't do male friends, but he's about, like, I have one out of two that like I'm still cool with, like I still see and stuff like that. On the regular, like, we grew up together, like we legit grew up together. I absolutely love his parents. I understand why his mom, because she's a prophetess, I understand why now she would always, like, if someone does something or if someone says something to her, like us kids, and she would just go into the spirit praising God and crying and stuff like that, because I feel like she's so many people are in the prophet thing and stuff like that, and they call her a prophetess and stuff like that. But and not many people have a prophetess. Like, we don't have like many prophetess, but she would go into the spirit, and she would just be crying and just in the shoot, because like I don't know, like we'll say little stuff, and it would just trigger her, and she just go straight into the spirit. I really think she's more of an intercessor than a prophet, but even she took on the role of being a prophetess. They call her a prophetess, and I absolutely love her. I understand why she used to go into the spirit, and like if someone does something wrong or say something wrong to her, why she was so sensitive in the spirit, and she would just start speaking in tongues, and taking it to the court of God all the time. I absolutely love them. And like, me and him, like, he's shared so much stuff with me over the years, and I kept it. I haven't took it to the grave, thank God. Like, I haven't took it to the grave, but he has told me so much stuff over the years. So we got this same person in common, but I don't know how it, like, I was trying to figure out and rack my brain, like, Lord, okay, like, how is this? Because in the dream, that's not how, the person that we have in common name, that's not how he acts. That's not how he acts. Now, because now he's married and he has, another daughter and stuff like that. They blended a family. And I'm like, that's not how he acts. So I'm like, Lord, does this have, like, and God would not let me sleep on Saturday because something was wrong. Like, something was wrong in the spirit. I felt it. And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, and I just woke up. I put on the shirt, and I was just like, look, I was like, it was like 8 or 9, and I posted about Rachel and Leah, and how they were saying Jacob didn't never go to God and ask him, was Rachel his person, or was Leah the one he, was so in love with. But, the Bible plays it as a love story of, he was going to get Leah no matter what. Like, that's the one he loved. He was going to get her. But he never took it to God and asked her, if, and then, she was like, no matter if, because the way she said it, she was like, God, did I say something wrong? Or, was it for sure something of, he was lusting after Rachel, and, all of this, because he did kiss Rachel. And I don't know if it was permitted, because he kissed her father too. And they said that it's an ancient thing to, kiss the father and kiss, it's a family thing to kiss the father and kiss. But I don't know if a man, even back in those days, should be kissing on, because I'm not finna go up to and they're cousins. They're cousins. So he was going back to his uncle's house to marry one of his cousins. Y'all know how it is in Bible days. So it's just like, it's like, I'm not finna go up to my cousin and be like, hey, like, what's up? Like, cuz, like, you look so good. Like, I'm in love with you. Like, even if, like, it was permitted in this day, like, I'm not finna go up to my cousin and kiss them and be like, man, you looking good. Like, like, so it's just like, you can take it how you want to take it. But I was talking about, like, basically, I posted it because I'm like, when God is creating these unions and stuff like that, because I was already telling about my dream that I had about my friend and stuff like that. We was cool, we was kicking in and all of this, and I had got my stuff. I took my bedding off the, like, I'm gonna get to the dream, but yeah. So I was telling about, like, when God is putting two people together, and I was like, when like, God, I was like, yes, relationship. when you go into your free will, when you try to put yourself in a relationship, or you don't have enough discernment to understand, like, hey, like, this isn't, I'm not completely understanding if this is something I should be doing or if it's not something I should be doing. But God, God is, even if your discernment is not discernment, even I feel like those relationships play a part in your role of how God will, it plays a part in your role of how God will, you know, orchestrate you to how you should treat and how you should be towards your God ordained spouse, the person that God asked you to be with. And when you know, it's basically when you know, because the dream was like, I knew who my spouse was. And it was just like, when you know who your spouse is, why are you entertaining someone else? And why is someone getting that close to you to where it's just like, okay, like you my friend, we cool and stuff like that. And we got close for, I think it was like, I wouldn't say even I would say it was like a 3 day span, like in a dream. No more than 3 days. And then it was kind of like my cousin came around, and then she said she was finna go to church, and then all of a sudden he was like, he was looking at her like in a lustful way, and she was like, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to church too and stuff like that. And then like I looked at my coworker, and I looked at her, and I was like, she smirked at me, and she looked at me, and I was like, he ain't the one. I was like, God already gave me the person I should be with. I already know the person I should be with. And when I say, I had the dream Wednesday. I told the dream on Instagram, but then was it Thursday? No, I forgot when. I'm gonna check back, y'all. Let me blow dry the black of my head, but I'm gonna check back and I'm gonna tell y'all when. All right, so yeah, like, so me and my husband have like this common, like, I won't say you common friend, but like there's a connection in that. And I was trying to figure out, I'm like, well, God, like, it doesn't make sense because, like, I was like, I know I don't want to get slapped. Let me find my part. I know I don't want to get slapped in my face again just for not believing you when you said, like, this is my person and this person. Because, like, when you do something that the opposite of what God is telling you, that person, yeah, I'm sure God has already given that person revelation. God has already told that person something of you, of about you, or something like that. And the fact that you know they're getting their hopes up, and they're getting excited that God is, finally bringing somebody that's going to love them and stuff like that. And then you end up straight up going with somebody else, or, they may be taking too long, or it's looking very worldly, like they're doing a whole bunch of worldly stuff, and, you feel like they're got this going on and got that going on, and you just sitting waiting, and that could really mess up your relationship, and that delays, the relationship that God wants for you. Like the things that God has for you to do in this earth is delayed, because you deciding to go and talk to someone else. And in this dream, it was like 3 days, and it was so funny because, you know, it wasn't even his house. Like, it wasn't even my friend's house. Like, he came to the house to where I was, and it was like me, I think my friend or something like that, and my mom, and like for 3 days, like we was kissing. We was kissing real good. Like we was kissing real good. And it was like we was in each other's face for 3 days. Hanging in that house, hanging around each other for 3 days. And then then so we was hanging around each other, hanging around each other in each other's like face for 3 days. And my mom was like watching like a hawk. Like a hawk. I told Instagram that I was like, she was watching like a hawk. Uh and it was so funny because I'm like, I got on Instagram to look and see my saves and my archives, and I didn't even look at the archives, y'all. But yeah, I was distraught because I'm like, Lord, like you gave me the dream Wednesday, and I was like, I understand, but yeah, it was the 22nd when I posted that. What day was that? So it was Thursday. I think my husband knows. I think my husband knows, y'all. No, that was Friday. That was Friday. So I feel like it had something to do with my husband, and it really didn't have nothing to do with me, but it was like God wasn't letting me sleep. God was not letting me sleep until I said something. And I know my husband probably hate that, I had said something, but it was a warning because I'm like, Lord, I'm not doing and it's so funny because it's like, Lord, I'm not doing anything. I was like, I'm keeping my eyes to myself because, like, I have enough self-control to not look at a man and be like, I wonder what I wonder what, like, I'm not, in that mindset because, like, I've been hurt so much when it comes to, like, just with the opposite sex and having sex with someone, um to where I'm not sitting there looking at nobody like, oh, like I want you to take me down, like I would take you down, da 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 da. Like, no, like you have to show me some type of personality traits that you was different, or you was this, or you was that, and it still may be a no. It still may be a no on you. So it's just like I'm not looking at nobody because I'm like, Lord, I was like, I am absolutely out of that mindset. I'm not looking at nobody. I'm not, you know, lusting after nobody. But it was a thing to where I had to send out the warning. And I'm like, husband, I don't know if this for you. But then I saw some stuff and I'm like, maybe it is for him. Because I'm like, I don't have nobody, like my friend is not around me. And that's why I was telling Instagram, I was like, my friend is distant. Like my friend is off married, with kids, he got a blended family and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is not for me. And I don't think it's necessarily anything to do with the friend per se, but the fact that, me and my husband have like a friend that has a common name. And then maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should just be quiet on it. But I had to say something because God was not letting me sleep until I said something until I was like, husband, I don't know if this for you or who it's for, but know what he's telling you and know what he's not telling you and stand on business. I remember somebody put out a word and it was like, you better not do it again, or this is going to happen to you, or this is going to happen to you. And, keep your legs closed and all of this other stuff. And it was just like, that's good enough for me. That's good enough warning for me to watch watch who you connect to, watch who comes around, because it's not of God for someone to come into your life and just try to take you down, for someone to come into your life and look at you like a sexual object, for someone to come into your life and just straight up is like, Like I don't see this with you. I don't see that with you. But I love to have sex with you. I love to put a baby in you. I love to, play house. But I'm not finna. I don't want to create nothing with you to where it's in a way of living biblical. If it aligns with the Bible, I don't want to live it. But yeah, I had to put out the warning, and I'm like, Lord, I don't know what's the connection with this person, but I had to warn. I was like, I'll give the warning again. Like, if you know what God is telling you and know what God is saying to you, stand on business. And I was like, husband, this goes for you too. Like, I don't know if this person that we have, I don't know if that person that we have in common is, like someone, because I was telling I have so many videos in that phone. I have so many videos that I filmed for my week long posting, and I was just gonna do that 5 days of posting, which I did. And I had a week long days of videos, and I was telling about interferences, and there was one person who was like, it was like I didn't even get to like post this, but there was like a biker person, like someone who rode a motorcycle, and my boss was like, oh, he's cute, like he's cute and stuff like that. And that happened to me Saturday. Let me see, y'all, because it's been a minute since I posted my weekly videos, haven't it? It's been 2 weeks. So Saturday, I want to say Saturday the 9th, because I did go, because Mother's Day I did work. So it was like Saturday the 9th. And then I think on Mother's Day, like, I posted too. I'm not sure. I did a video on Mother's Day too, I think. But yeah, so it was like I did a video on Mother's Day and I did a video on Saturday and stuff like that. But she was like, oh, he's cute and he ride a motorcycle. Now it's those type of interferences and those type of things. And look, my husband can be like, hey, like, no, he ain't even that person. Like, he can, like, because I don't have friends around me that sit there, but I do have those type of interferences that are subtle. And it's just like, ma'am, like, for sure, because y'all nosy and y'all stay on my Instagram, for sure that I am waiting on my husband, and I know who my husband is. But you're sitting here saying that this tall guy, which I don't even really fool with tall people, it's just like you saying that this tall guy and stuff like that is cute and stuff like that. And it's just like, I just looked at her like, girl, like, I'm not that type of female. I'm not that type of woman that's finna sit with my friends and be like, girl, like we sitting there and it's just like, girl, look at him go, look at him pass by, because that's lustful. That's being lustful. That's not self-control. Like, man, if me and my, like, once God builds my community and brings my friends around, the only thing if me and my friend is chilling like at a beach or a resort or something without our kids and without our husbands, the only thing is we gonna be doing is thanking God that we finally got a break. Because I feel like once me and my husband come together, I have so much to do in God. He's gonna have so much to do in God. He's already busy. So it's just like, I'm not going to have time to just sit back like I'm doing now. I'm not going to have time to just sit back and be like, yeah, like, there's nothing for me to do right now. Like, there's nothing for, like, I'm going to always have something to do. I'm going to always be wanting to do something. I'm going to always have my hand or, my foot in something to where it's just like, I can be doing something. And God is calling me to, do this and do that and do that. And it's just like, I'm going to be, so me and my friend ain't finna be sitting here looking at other men being like, oh, he's cute. Like, he look good. Or like this celebrity was my dream. So like, I never had a crush on a celebrity and said like, oh, this my dream celebrity, or this my dream person, or this is da 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 da. Like, I would never ask my husband like, oh, do I get a pass on this man? Like, if this man likes me and stuff like, so you mentally already thinking about cheating before you like be like, you barely in the relationship and you already asking your man for a pass, and you think that's cute? You think that's cute? But I don't know if it was like that type of interferences that, God was trying to like get me to warn my husband, but I really don't want to warn my husband, because it's just like, I want him to develop his own discernment. So it's just like, I shouldn't have to, be like, hey, like, God is wearing me out about this dream. And it was like, it was a close call. And I told my husband, I was like, I don't know if y'all want to hear it, but I told my husband, I was like, husband, it was a close call. Like, yeah, like, it was no sex involved, but like, how I was with this person, I spent a good 3 days with this person, and we was kissing real good and stuff like that, hanging out, chilling, laughing and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, this person sees my cousin. Like, this person sees my cousin, and my cousin is looking at him. Both lustful. And my cousin was like, oh, I'm about to go to church and stuff like that. And he got up, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. Like, a little while later, he was like, I'm gonna go to church too and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's for sure not my friend. Like, that's for sure not my friend, because he ain't gonna choose to go to church, okay? So it was kind of like, and you could tell like that was just a lustful spirit being like, oh, she going to church, like, I'm gonna follow her to church, even though like we know it ain't nothing good coming out of that. And I looked at my coworker look at me and smirk, and I looked at her and I was like, nah. I was like, he ain't the one. I was like, God already has someone for me. He ain't the one. So I had to give that warning, because I'm like, Lord, I don't know if I was like, you not letting me go back to sleep, because normally if I'm waking up between the hours of maybe 5 to 8, and I posted that video at 9 o'clock, I'm like, Lord, I was scrolling a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna post it, let it marinate. I'm gonna go back to sleep. So by 12, because normally, during the week, like, I'm waking up at 12. I'm like, okay, by 12, I'm cool. Like, by 12, like, I should be getting like at least 2 or 3 more hours of sleep. I could not go back to sleep, and I had to get on camera. And be like, no matter if you feel like Rachel, like, he loved Rachel and he did the 14 years for Rachel and stuff like that, or he was tricked, and his uncle did him wrong and stuff like that, or you feel like he was lusting after Rachel, because in her how God gave it to her, he was lusting after Rachel. It wasn't just like, no, like, yeah, I'm gonna do 14 more years for Rachel and stuff like that, I love her that much. But he was lusting, but he already knew custom of the oldest girl gets married first. He already knew how it worked and stuff like that. Now, Laban didn't have to trick him, because Laban was like, I think it was Laban, he already had told him like, yeah, like, you can get my daughter, but then you switched it up and gave him Leah instead of Rachel. Yes, he shouldn't have did that, but at the same time, he already knew custom that the oldest gets married first and then the youngest. And he ended up having both of them, but he treated Rachel better than Leah. He even went all the way down to Joseph being sold into slavery because you treated your kids in a different way, because you treated your kids with favoritism. And I agree with that. You treated your kids with favoritism. Benjamin and Joseph got treated with favoritism because they was Rachel's kids. You treated them with favoritism over Leah, and you shouldn't have treated them with favoritism. You should have asked God which one I should go with, which one I should be with. You should have asked God, should I be treating Leah this way? But no, he treated Leah kids differently than he treated Rachel kids, because he was so overly, like, that's not, I don't think that was love. That was basically idolizing her. He basically idolized her. And yes, Joseph was a great man of God. But at the same time, it's true. The sins of your father got passed down because he treated y'all in a different way. He didn't make all y'all jackets. He made you jacket. And then you were showing it to all the other ones. Being like, look what I got. Look what I got. You know how kids is. So it's just like, I heard two different stories about how Joseph was acting. Some of them call him a favorite. Some of them call him, basically said that he was, I can't put it into words, but yeah, so I didn't know. Like, I had to give the warning. I was able to sleep the rest of the weekend. The rest of the week afterwards, after that. But I feel like the reason I posted that was because that's what happens, when one of your people is coming out of the world and they still feel like, well, this person has this person has that, this person has this, and I feel like we'll be a perfect match. Like, they got this going on for themselves, they got that going on for themselves, they're going to understand this, they're going to understand this part of my lifestyle, but they're not asking God, like, hey, is this someone I should be with? Hey, Lord, is this someone that is going to be right for me? So when I had my dream Wednesday, I was like, Lord, okay, like, I'll post this video. Well, I'll tell the dream. I told the dream on Wednesday, and then I was like, once I posted the Rachel and Leah situation, I was like, this reminds me of, how when God is bringing people together, like, you have free will to choose the other person, but it's not going to go the way that you are thinking it's going to go. It's not going to go the way that you are, feeling like, oh, well, this person going to be able to handle this and handle that, and my lifestyle of this way or my lifestyle of that way. They're going to be able to just bring me peace and all of this, and then all of a sudden they're not able to do any of that. But yeah, y'all, like, I had to tell the dream, and once I told the dream, that's when God finally, if I wake up, he'll let me go back to sleep and stuff like that. And yeah, so I was like, Lord, I know I'm sitting my butt down. I was like, I am not being disobedient. I was like, I'm sitting my butt down somewhere. I was like, you ain't got to worry about that. Like, and I was like, is this a warning for my husband? Because I don't have people in my life that's influencing me to do something opposite of what God is telling me. And that's the main reason why I haven't told my family, like, about my husband, or about me waiting for a husband, or, you know, anything like that, because it's just like, you know, I don't want you to I don't want to be in a Joseph situation to where my family is being like, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. But God really told Joseph that, you know, even though Joseph was the teacher's pet, the parents' pet, and the favorite and all of this stuff, God really told him that they was going to bow down to him. God showed him a vision. And guess what? They ended up bowing down. They ended up asking for forgiveness because they shouldn't have did him like that. You know? And I understand the dynamic of, you know, how Jacob was treating them and how they was raised and stuff like that, because they're from two different women. And yeah, so it's a lot, y'all. But yeah, update on my life and stuff like that. I just been letting God do what he do, you know, letting God take care of me, letting God order my steps. I know I was telling y'all about, you know, my pending thing, and, you know, I was telling y'all about the promises that other people was getting. And honestly, I'm just letting God order my steps. Like, I don't know who, what, when, or where, but, you know, I don't know. Like, God haven't really given me too much. You know, he hasn't given me too much answers. But I know that I have gotten some instructions and I have made some plays on it, and that's about it. Like, I'm just doing what God wants me to do, even blindly, like I'm just baby stepping it. Because God, to where, you know, it's about to be different. It's about to be some changes, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And it's so, let me switch my thing. I'm about to put some gloves on. And, oh, look at my nails, y'all. I've been not taking pictures. These are for sure pretty and pink nails instead of my little short ones. But I haven't really been taking pictures of my nails and stuff like that. Oh, my battery about to die. But I'm about to take y'all outside. I'm going to put y'all in my pocket. I'm about to switch my camera over. Hopefully this not a long video, but I'm probably gonna cut all of that out, that where I said like because I'm on a different avenue and stuff like that. I've been telling about, you just, you know, what God has been doing for me and stuff like that. And I may have to buy another tripod. It's just stuff everywhere is going on, because like this tripod that I'm using is broken, so I may have to buy another tripod. But let me switch over. Let me go outside to get this trash. I don't know if it's my neighbor's trash or what. Because, like, I know his trash be full. My trash wasn't full like that. But let me put on some gloves, because I don't want to touch other people's trash. I don't know where their trash been. And let me get it up out my yard and put it in the trash can and call it a day. Pick my trash can up. Because I was like, when it rained, I was like, is my trash can knocked over? Like, if it's getting raining, I ain't going outside. Like, I was already marinating my hair. I was like, I am not going outside. So let me go out here and pick my trash can up and stuff like that. And I'm gonna take y'all with me, but y'all just gonna hear my voice and stuff like that. Or y'all just gonna be out here. I'm gonna just take y'all out there with me. I don't know. Either way. I don't know if I want to edit on the computer or edit on my phone, but yeah, y'all, like God is moving some things in my life. And, you know, I told y'all, like, I hate to do anything, you know, and I was telling y'all, like, I wouldn't want to meet my husband and be separated. I wouldn't want him to come towards me and we come together and then get separated. So I was like, if he's coming, you know, it's kind of like, okay, what's the game plan? And I was telling y'all in my update video, I was like, I don't know if he's coming towards me or I'm coming towards him or we meeting in the middle. Like, I have no clue. So I'm like, I don't know what's the game plan. But at the same time, there are certain things in my life to where God is like, these spaces, these people, and these different things that you have, like, it can't continue. It can't continue. Like, you cannot continue to be around this. I legit just told y'all, like, I got talked bad to by a coworker for my hair smelling like baby powder. Not a messed up scent, not a like a odor, not a bad scent, but baby powder. Cause my hair oil smelled like baby powder. So, and this is why I told y'all, like, sometimes, and I'm seeing it in real time with like my videos and stuff. Sometimes God will elevate you by yourself. And I always see this video, well, you're going to do this and do this by yourself, and then your husband is going to come, or you're going to be this or do this. And I know my husband has a hard head. I already know my husband has a hard head. But at the same time, I know his influences, like the people who are around him, their influences be influencing. So it's just like, I stay out of it. I mind my business. And, you know, I just make sure, because even the one, like, I couldn't, I've been influenced to, just be like, oh, like, date this person or talk to this person and, do this and stuff like that. So I've been influenced before, like, and I didn't call the interferences, not influence, but interferences. Like, I've been those interferences to where it's like, oh, like how my boss was like, oh, like, he's cute, like, and it's just like, girl, I'm waiting on my husband, and that I don't know, like, I have no clue who this man is. I think that was my second time seeing that person, and she was like, he's cute and he ride a motorcycle, and I was just like, girl, you was not finna get me to come into agreement with that when I got a whole husband that I know I'm waiting on. Well, I'm waiting on God to put in his peanut, well, I wouldn't even say peanut, his big head that, like, hey, like, you can't operate out of free will. And you can't stop them from operating out of free will at the same time. You cannot stop them from operating out of free will. You have to let it happen. They have to learn how to let that stuff go. And you don't want to be connected to somebody. And I was saying it in the video because you don't want to get cheated on. And it was so funny because I was talking about a man who was saying, like, he had went in a grocery store by himself, and he seen, like, women in there that was looking good to him and stuff like that, and he had to, walk back out. And it's just like, if you're dealing with lust that bad that you can't walk in a grocery store, see a woman, and go the other way without having to, talk to them, or, that your stuff, coming up and all of this, like, if you can't be in that grocery store without being like, oh, like, how you doing, or like, you looking good and stuff like that, if you can't be in that store without looking at a person and being like, oh, like, you fine, like, you looking good and stuff like that, like, if you can't be in that store and go the other direction, be like, oh, like that person look good, and go on about your way. Because like I said, we understand that men are visuals, like they're visual creatures, but at the same time, being visual can get you messed up. And I think I just understand that, to where it's just like, I'm not looking at a man in that way. I'm not searching to, you know, even if God didn't show me my husband, I was about to be on a journey of cool by myself, which I have. Because most of the people that I have done in the past done talked to before God revealed my husband, even then, I'm like, yeah, no, no, absolutely not. So, yeah, like, it's like, what, 6 o'clock? But I don't know, y'all. Like, yeah, like that dream, like, and I'm like, Lord, if that has something to do with my husband, I was like, you know, I was just being obedient. And I straight up warned him. I'm like, hey, like, and it was kind of really already too late, because it got to Friday, and I'm like, hey, like, God is still wearing me out about this dream. And it's just like, be careful. Because then, before he gets to me, he has to heal. Before he gets to me, he has to not have his heart in pieces. So it's important for him to just, sit back and ask God. Like, sit back and pray and ask God. And even now, um, I just look at things in my life, and I'm like, you know, I'm about to make some changes in my life. And it's like, Lord, where do you want me to be? And I won't say I can't see him pulling up, showing up when he needs to show up. But will it be too late? Like I said, I remember telling y'all, I don't want to miss him. I don't want, like, there's no way that he can miss me. But if these changes happen, because if God orchestrates a coming out for me, if God orchestrates a change, if God orchestrates a transition for me, and he's not being obedient, God is going to have someone else step up. Could be somebody I know, could be somebody I don't know. But yeah, like, it's been an interesting day. It's been an interesting day, y'all. But yeah, like, I mean, it's been an interesting weekend, but honestly, this weekend I felt okay, but I did have to get that warning, because I'm like, sit down somewhere. Because, like, if I'm sitting down, we supposed to be mirroring each other. So if like I'm sitting down, like God shouldn't be giving me dreams to where like I'm thinking like, okay, Lord, like what is this, like what this has to do with anything. And I wasn't okay until I gave my husband that warning. And it makes me wonder, like, is he fully ready? I keep telling him, like, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. But, you know, if he's still, like, dealing with lust and, you know, looking at people and, you know, especially with me and how my marriage ended, my last marriage ended, like I need to be able to trust you when it comes to self-control. And I need you to be able to trust me when it comes to me going out and doing what God wants me to do. What's going to happen when I'm not at the house? These things to think about. You know, and these are things to where it's just like, don't rush it. And I even told him, I was like, no matter if my husband shows up and comes and we start doing what God has told us to do, or if God starts elevating me in a different way, because look, I can't tell y'all all that I got going on in the behind the scenes, but I got a lot going on. But at the same time, it's just like I'm okay with still growing and still maturing and still doing what I need to do. On the flip, you know, on the different, you know, on the flip side, on, you know, I'm okay with doing what I need to do for God and starting to still, you know, still writing, still doing this, still doing that, and still doing this. Because I know I'm gonna get peace. I know I'm gonna be able to think. I know I'm gonna be able to get a breath of fresh air. But y'all, like, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, what if my husband missed the Summer was just talking about what if don't miss the window of opportunity. God gives you a window of opportunity. And what if my husband missed the window of opportunity of coming towards me? Because he still wants to be in his free will, or he still have those things we talk about from Pretty in Pink, those interferences. Because they slick. They're so slick. Because, like, what if I would have been like, oh, yeah, like, Bossy, yeah, he cute and stuff like that. That opens the door to where, like, I end up seeing men in a way to where God is not having me see men right now. Because I'm already in position to be somebody else's wife. And they're in, and I pray he's getting in position for him to be my husband. Because I could have legit been like, oh yeah, like he cute and stuff like that. And got this man number. So those are the videos that I got in backup. Like my phone probably screaming at me right now. Because it's just like, those are the videos like I post like that week that I was posting like back to back and stuff like that. I was telling about those interferences that we don't recognize. And it's funny because I don't have friends connected to me. But it's those people that I see every day. They'll be like, oh, like this person look good, this person look good. Yeah, but that person ain't for me. That's not my person. So, today is the 28th, Tuesday. It's 8:16. And I feel like my husband, like, let me tell y'all some real, I would say this ain't the first time my husband has been very, very close to me, but hasn't pulled the trigger. And I can't do nothing to, like, I can't be like, hey, call him up, be like, hey, like, what's up? Hey, like, where you at? Like, hey, like, I'm not going to do something, especially where God got me now. God was like, hey, you see this is happening and this is happening and stuff like that. I need you, what I've been preparing you for, I need you to get prepared for it. It's like, you see this is, you see this, like, God, and I don't know if I was telling Instagram, God had been speaking to me in a different way to where it wasn't like dreams and stuff like that. You know, the way he been speaking is real life situations. He's been speaking to me, showing me real life situations. And it's like, you know, he don't care what I do or what's going to happen. He just need me to do what he told me to do. And, you know, I was telling my husband, you know, I've been telling him stuff about, I don't know if he's been seeing it or anything, but, you know, at the same time, I feel like, you know, I told y'all when God first gave me revelation about my husband, I'm like, okay, God, like, he will, you know, he would do it, you know, I looked at him like, okay, if, you know, if this is my husband, he's going to do what you are telling him to do. But it ain't been like that. It hasn't been like that. But at the same time, I don't want my husband uncooked. I don't want him not marinated. I don't want him unseasoned. If he's still dealing with some stuff that God is trying to remove from him and take out of him and stuff like that, that's going to mess up, you know, us coming together and being together in that long run, I need God to marinate him. And I'm okay with that. And you have to be okay with that. And I you know, I pray that my husband didn't, you know, because God already told me I've done enough. I've done enough. I'm praying for him. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I'm a woman. You know, I'm a woman in a sense to where it's just like, at some point, you gotta call. At some point, you have to show up. At some point, the man has to be intentional. So it's just like, I've done everything that I was supposed to do. And I was telling y'all, like, my husband has been very close to me. And it reminded me of that dream I told y'all to where we was at the school and we was meeting each other for the first time and stuff like that. And well, we was at the family reunion, then it switched over to the school and stuff like that. And then, you know, after the class was over and stuff, I told him to wait on me. I was like, wait on me, don't leave me. And he left. So it's been a lot of just me by myself. Now, I know I was telling Instagram, like, I'm trying to get in a mindset of God will be placing me with someone who God will be placing me with someone that will give to me and not take from me all the time. Like, I won't be getting taken from. Like, they're not gonna sit there with their hand out waiting on something from me. So I'm at the mindset and stuff like that of, I'm waiting on my husband. Yes. Do I think he has a big head? And I say big head in the sense of, most of the time it's just like, okay, yeah, like, yo, you got a big head, like joking around. But in other times it's just like he's hard headed. And I know that about him. Like, I know that about him. And, that's just something he has to deal with God. And, I pray that even with this situation, that just happened this weekend, that he wasn't expecting me to, be like, I was gonna say Jezebel. Cause only Jezebel would be like, yes, yes, like, I'm going to get my man and stuff like that. And it's like, that's out of my, like, you have to do something. Like, I told y'all early in the video that, and I'm just emotional. Y'all ignore me being emotional. But I told y'all early in the video that being in close proximity, he knows who I am. He knows who, what, when, and where. But he hasn't pulled the trigger. And I hope he wasn't thinking that I was finna be a Jezebel and just be like, oh, he's in close proximity. Like, my husband been in close proximity to me a whole lot. He's been close to me a whole lot. And that doesn't, God hasn't told me, like, hey, go to this man and go to this. Like, no. God hasn't given me instructions to go towards him. He didn't give me an urge in my spirit or anything like that. So it wasn't this thing to where it's just like I hope, like, the man is supposed to pursue. I'm not supposed to chase him down. And that's why I'm like, Lord, if there's still, like, I understand being shy, I understand having fear, I understand all of these different things, but I'm like, Lord, I'm supposed to be pursued. I shouldn't have to do anything. I pray for him. I do what I need. I cover him by the blood and stuff like that. But I'm looking like, Lord, I hope and pray that he wasn't thinking that I was going to chase him. And he may be upset, like, because he was in, like, close proximity of me. I was going to tell y'all, in April is when I really felt like my husband was going to come. And I was completely disappointed. And it was just like, from confirmations and stuff like that, I feel like April should have been the month that he came. Well, I still feel like he's coming, but it's like, are you, and I never know how he's coming. Is he coming with a ring, or is he coming with, I just want to court you, or is he coming with, like, hey, like, I want to apologize for this and this and this. Like, I don't know how he's coming. It's a very big question mark. I done got a headache because I've been emotional and stuff. But yeah, y'all, like I want my husband to come. I want him to be ready. I'm like, I kind of seen signs that he was ready, but at the same time, maybe he thought like I was gonna pursue or chase him and be like, Lord, I'm about to stop everything that you like, like I'm gonna go to him. And I don't mind going to my husband, but if God tells me to go to him, God wasn't telling me to go to him. So I pray that he didn't think like she didn't come to me, like she don't love me, she ain't, and it's just like, I love you, but you're the man. And God says you will pursue me. But I love you guys. Let me get off of here.